Have you ever watched your child completely fall apart over the seams in their socks? Gag at a smell that you barely notice? Or cry because the tag in their shirt makes them feel like they're on fire or is itchy? You've probably been told they're just sensitive. But what if sensitivity isn't the problem? What if the nervous system is already running on empty and the sock is just the final straw? When your child reacts big to something small, it's easy to assume they're overreacting. But here's what I want you to know. Sensitivity might not be a personality flaw. It's a signal that your child is overwhelmed long before the seam in the sock, the smell, or the sound ever showed up. One of the most overlooked causes is how your child breathes. When kids mouth breathe, they're not getting enough oxygen, enough restorative sleep. They're losing 40% of their water. They're holding chronic tension in their jaw, their tongue, their neck, and their shoulders. Their nervous system is on overload. It never fully rests. Even the tiniest little thing is enormous to them. Not because they're dramatic, because they're drowning. And someone just added one little drop on top of them. They don't know how to tell you what's going on and why they're having these meltdowns. They're not bad kids. They're overstimulated. Here's a few signs your child's sensory issues might be their breath and their body. Their mouth is open at rest. Their mouth is open even when they're awake. Their mouth is open when they sleep. Their mouth could be closed. They could be snoring, mouth open or closed. They could be teeth grinding. They could be chewing on their sleeves, their collar, their hair. They're explosive with sounds. They toss and turn, wake up sweaty, get up and go to the bathroom, wet the bed, have night terrors. These are all signs. They need everything just right before they can relax. These aren't quirks. They're not manipulation. Their bodies are sending out an SOS signal, and it's doing its best without a language that can actually explain what's happening because it's happening inside their bodies. Sometimes they feel like they're going to explode, but they don't know why. They have these meltdowns. I was sending my daughter to her room because I didn't know how to calm her down. One of the things you can do to calm down is controlling the central nervous system with deep breathing exercises to help them calm down. One of the easiest things that you can do is sniff-sniff-blow. So it's like they're smelling a flower and they're going to sniff twice and then blow like they're blowing out a candle. So you can do it with them. It's really playful. You can give them a fake flower. You can go get a dandelion. Those are pretty easy to find outside. And again, you're just going to sniff, sniff, blow, sniff, sniff, blow. This is going to tell the brain that they're safe. They're not under attack. And the more you practice this, the more you do this, the more it will help calm down the nervous system. And if they yawn a lot, that's telling you that they're not getting as much nitric oxide CO2 exchange. The more they do these deep breathing exercise, the more you practice them, the more they can actually control what's happening on the inside of their body. So deep breathing exercises will definitely help them calm down. And when you can teach them that, they can do these things even when you're not around to help self-regulate instead of getting so tense or might be bad behavior or might be labeled as explosive behavior. It's because they don't know what to do. The more that you can help your child, the more powerful your support becomes. The more you don't have to explain yourself to what's happening on the outside. Your child's not just misbehaving. You're not a bad parent. They don't know how to regulate their central nervous system. All of these puzzle pieces fit together. I want you to have the big picture. If you haven't watched the last couple of videos, I want you to go ahead and go back and watch those because it's all connected together about the central nervous system and the labels that our kids are getting. Next week, we're going to talk about the lazy label. This week, we're talking about sensitivity. The week before that, we talked about ADHD. So your child is probably not getting restful sleep. They're tossing and turning. They could be wetting the bed. You might not even notice these things, but they're just getting knocked out of their circadian rhythm. But all of these things are cumulative on your child's central nervous system, making it difficult for them to focus, to learn, to concentrate, and to even retain what they learned. Because if they're not getting that good REM sleep, they're getting kicked out of that circadian rhythm, they might not be able to focus and things might not make sense to them because we store our memories when we sleep. And if they didn't sleep, they didn't store the memories from the day before. They're just trying to survive every single day. When we look for these signs, we can look at our kids differently. Our body gives us warning symptoms, much like a check engine light in our car. It's just there's no light that goes on for our kids. These symptoms are subtle, and a lot of times we don't even know what's happening. We just see the behavior. When we look at these things through a different lens, we can help our kids where they're actually enjoying life and they're not just trying to survive every day. I was a parent who did not know these things, didn't understand, didn't see these things because I didn't know what to look for. I was a dental hygienist who wasn't taught how the tongue functions or how people breathe. I just looked at their teeth and their gums. A lot of times bleeding gums and cavities are because you're breathing through your mouth and it's drying out all of that tissue. We'll talk more about that in another video, but it's all connected. Right now we're talking about how are our kids breathing and what's happening with their central nervous system. What is their body trying to tell us? Once we start looking at our kids differently and we look at these clues, we can stop, label them, and get them the help that they really need, because our kids need our help. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.